What's going on, guys? This is James Allen. I am recording this on Tuesday, December 23rd, 2025. In this episode, I want to share with you how I ended up using a 1940s ecology formula in my CityXcape algorithm to match people in a city. Very interesting story. It's also authentic, and I think there's a lot founders could learn by listening to this story. So here we go. As you guys know, I've built CityXcape V1, a very simple scavenger hunt app where people could find a Cityscape sticker hidden at a culturally significant location. And when they find it and scan that sticker, they get presented with an NFT, which is a digital artifact relevant to the location. And they could claim that artifact and save it to their digital identity, aka the street pass. So it's basically a way for people to learn the city by doing exploration missions. And now that I see that people have indeed played the game and done scavenger hunts, I want to connect them with one another, right? I want to turn Cityscape into a social network now, which is the feature I'm currently working on right now. And how I'm doing it is this. When someone finds a Cityscape sticker and they claim the artifact, that artifact connects them to every other player who's completed that mission before them. I'm going to say that one more time. When someone claims an artifact on Cityscape, claiming it connects them to every other person who's completed that mission as well. So in a way, the user is building their social network by exploring the city. Now, one of the things I don't want to do, right, is, as you can imagine, as people are claiming artifacts and new people are being added to their world, the last thing I want to do is just show them a list of people for them to just go through, right? Cityscape has to make sense in a way where, like, the app tells them, hey, this person is a good potential match. This person, not so much, right? The last thing I want to do is be an app like Tinder, where you're just swiping left and right through people that you don't really know nothing about. Tinder doesn't really present you with any relative information that lets you know this person's a good potential match or not. And let's be honest, you might like a person physically, but when you actually hang out with them in person, you guys don't vibe at all, right? So I don't want to do the same mistake in Cityscape. If I'm connecting people who have done the same missions with one another, I have to somehow sort it to let the user know this person is a much more potential match than that user, right? And how do I do that? Well, what data set do I have? I know all the missions that the users have completed, right? So it makes sense that the natural matching algorithm should be, let's compare the missions of user A with the missions of user B and see how much overlap there is and translate that into a matching percentage. Let me give you a concrete example. Let's just say Simone has done 12 missions, right? A user named Simone has done 12 missions. Now you have a user named Jason that has done 20 missions, right? But out of that pool, they have 8 missions in common. That's the intersect. They have 8 missions in common. Now, Cityscape needs to somehow translate that into a matching percentage. And I had asked myself, well, what's the first restraint, right? The first restraint is like the sample size being too small. Because if a user just has 2 missions in a set, right, and another user has 20 missions in their set, that's not really like a viable comparison, right? The set is too small. So we can immediately put a hard line and say, okay, for people to start being matched with one another, they need to have at least 3 missions, both of them. Both of them need to have at least 3 missions. But if you look at the situation I've presented before with Simone and Jason, they both meet the minimum sample requirement. Simone has 12 missions completed. Jason has 20 missions completed, and they share an overlap of 8 missions. Now, how do you compare that and come up with a matching percentage? And rather than reinvent the wheel, I said to myself, has there been scientists in the past or researchers in the past that's like ran into the same situation, the same problem? And it turns out there was. I believe it's a guy named Lee Dice. I believe it's Lee Dice and Sorensen, Thomas Sorensen, I believe. Don't quote me word for word from that, but I believe it's Lee Dice and Thomas Sorensen. But the mathematical equation is known as the Sorensen-Dice coefficient, or the Dice-Sorensen coefficient. And these people were botanists who were studying plant habitats, and they came up with a question: how how do we know how similar a habitat is compared to another? How similar is one habitat compared to another? And they figured out, well, let's look at how many plant species they share. Does this sound familiar? It's kind of like the same problem Cityscape is facing, right? Instead of habitats, it's people. And instead of plants, it's mission, right? But these botanists were saying, okay, when we're looking at two habitats, how many plants do they share and how many plants are there in that particular habitat total? And the equation they ended up coming with is something like, I think it's 2 times the intersection as the numerator over the sum of the sets as the denominator. And that makes sense because if you could tell just by judging at this equation on a surface level, the 2 times the intersection kind of creates a certain symmetry so that it's balanced on both sides. So I basically went and created a computer science version. I could share like a pseudocode, somewhere at the bottom. I could put a pseudocode somewhere at the bottom. This is not the code I'm using on my app, right? Because I don't want to share away trade secrets, right? But I use this Dice-Sorensen coefficient to create the Cityscape matching algorithm, and lo and behold, it works perfectly. I've tested it with numerous different sets, and it turns out to be completely accurate. And in the case of Simone and Jason, like I said, Simone has 12, Jason has 20, they share 8 overlap. That would make them a 50% match. So now Jason know that Simone is 50% her match and vice versa. Much more relatable than just seeing Simone's picture or just seeing Jason's picture and saying, okay, well, should I connect with this person or not? So I hope this makes sense. And I think this is the kind of leverage founders should look for. Rather than reinvent the wheel, go look at research that's been done prior and see if you could implement the mathematical formula of that research into your computer science code. And believe it or not, a lot of people will respect you far more for doing that than coming up with your own equation off the fly. In fact, I've already talked to a few computer scientists about it, my mentor included. I don't know if you remember my mentor, Thomas McCade. He's a PhD computer scientist, and he absolutely loved it. He was very happy to see me go this simple, straightforward route, and he encouraged similar behaviors. Now, there are ways of making this equation much more sophisticated, right? Because you could have recency weighting, right? You could have population density weighting. You could look at the user ranks and see how proximal their ranks are to one another and add that as a weight to the algorithm. Ultimately, I think this algorithm will end up as a form of vector calculus. I have ways of making the computation more sophisticated, but I want to wait till Cityscape has millions of users before I start using more sophisticated math. But for this simple V1, I think this was a great illustration. In any case, my misfits, that's all I have for you in this episode. You know what to do. Don't forget to press that like button and support me on Patreon. And if you're a startup and you would like to book me for a consulting session, link is in the description. I could save you a ton of time and money. And I will see you next time.